Hello and welcome to this UCAT preparation advice video. So in this video we're going to be talking about the quantitative reasoning section, specifically tax calculations. So tax calculations are quite a frustrating and complicated part of the UCAT quantitative reasoning section, and unfortunately they will probably be an even more frustrating part of your future life. So it's important to understand how to calculate tax, not only for your medical school aspirations, but also for adult life. In this video, we're going to cover some key information about how tax works, and then we're going to go through a practice question together. One of the main things to remember about tax is that tax is paid in bands. So that means that you pay different amounts of tax depending on which band you're in. And once you earn above a certain band, you're going to be paying more tax. Everyone pays the same amount of tax for each band, but if you earn more, you're going to be paying a higher tax in a higher band. And if that sounds a little bit confusing, don't worry, we're going to go through an example where we're going to talk through how to calculate tax for someone in a higher band. So let's go through an example together. So I've got the question down here in front of me, and I'll also pop it up on the screen here for you to see as well. So a typical question that you're going to get when it comes to calculating tax may go as follows. So income between £0 to £12,000 is taxed at 0%. Income between £12,000 and £45,000 is taxed at 20%. Income between £45,000 and £60,000 is taxed at 30%. Income between £60,000 and £120,000 is taxed at 40%. And then income over £120,000 is taxed at 45%. And then assuming that Peregrine, an associate at a large hedge fund, makes £145,000 a year, how much does he pay in tax? So in this case, unfortunately, we are going to have to work through each band in turn to calculate how much tax he pays for each. So in band 1, he pays nothing because everyone is entitled to £12,000 tax-free. Then we move on to band 2. So in band 2, he has to pay 20%. So 20% of £33,000, which is basically that £45,000, take away the base £12,000 for that band of tax. 20% of that is going to give you £6,600. And now we move on to the next band. So in the next band, he has to pay 30%, which is £4,500, because he's earned that full £15,000 that's encompassed by that band. Then in band 4, he has to pay 40% of the £60,000 that is encompassed by that band, which is £24,000 in tax. And finally, he has to pay 45% in tax on income above £120,000. So he earns £145,000 per year. So that means that he's taxed 45% on the remaining £25,000 that he earns. So that leaves you with £11,250 in tax on that band. So in total, if you add all of those tax values up, Peregrine is going to be paying £46,350 in tax. And as you can see, the key here is just recognizing that each of those bands is taxed at a separate rate and has a separate amount of money attached to it. So if you just work through those bands methodically, you'll be completely fine. The most common error made by students in tax calculation questions is thinking that a higher tax rate applies to their entire income if they earn above that band, if that makes sense. So for example, in the question that we just did, they earned £145,000. So that would be like wrongly thinking that they would pay 45% of tax on their entire income, on the whole £145,000, which obviously isn't the case. As we've just seen, different bands have different rates of tax applied to them, and you need to calculate them all separately. Okay, so in this video we have gone through the principles of tax, and we've gone through how to calculate tax together. So hopefully that's cleared up any confusion that you might have had and you feel ready to tackle these questions in the future.